Okay, we're live. Welcome to my show. This is Cody Seingdahl. I am the author of 5 novels and 2 nonfiction works. This is my channel, my YouTube channel, in which we talk about the journey and all things to do with writing books and our literary journey. As I share mine with you, I'm in the middle of writing my 6th novel right now. And one of the reasons why I started writing novels is because I love to read them. And so everybody said, well, I say this myself, but all the experts will tell you the same. If you're going to be writing novels, you need to be reading them too. You need to love to read novels. If you don't love reading novels, then what are you really doing? You're just flattering yourself. You got to love the art. So I do that, but also I read novels because I love them, but I also read them to improve my craft. And we're going to talk about a novel that I just got done reading, the Last Prince of the Mexican Empire. And we're going to keep this short because hopefully this is nothing wrong with me, but my lymph nodes have been swollen now for weeks. And I think it's from allergies. In fact, my left eye swelled up really bad last week, and it seems to do this once a year. So I'm hoping that that's the only problem, and it's nothing more serious than that. So one of the things I started doing is, as I'm writing novels, I'm reading other people's novels, and then when I finish them, I like to give them a review because I'm always asking people to give me a 5-star review. So I do it for others, and my feeling is this: I'm either going to give you 5 stars or I'm just not going to review it, because I'm just not going to I'm not going to damage any other author out there, especially a living author. It is not my place to say anything bad about someone else. There are plenty of other people that are going to do that, and you're going to get, if you go to any author, including myself, and you look through their reviews, you'll find some things that are unfair and mean-spirited, but you'll also find some pretty honest criticism. That's fine. That's for other people. I'm a cheerleader, and if I like it, 5 stars and a review. If I don't like it, then I just don't say anything about it, and I move on to the next book. So I'm currently writing my 6th novel, which is about the Franco-Prussian War. However, there's a bit of it that takes place in Mexico. So I wanted to learn a lot more about Mexico's Second Empire, Maximilian, and what happened at the end of his reign, because that is in my next book, the French Fiasco. And so I've come up with this new scheme of how I do it. By the way, I'm bringing back the word scheme to not mean an illicit plan. I'm bringing back the word scheme to mean what it's supposed to mean, which is like a way of doing things or a method. So my scheme is, when I finish reading a book, I give it a review on Goodreads and on Amazon, 5 stars. And then what I do is I take that review and I turn it into a blog post. And then I share my blog post. And I used to share the Goodreads review, but the reason why I don't do that anymore is because all I'm doing is directing people to goodreads.com, which I have nothing against. But I'm trying to build my own platform. So instead, now when I share my review, even though you can read it on Goodreads and you can read it on Amazon, I'm sharing it through my WordPress site, which right now is being used mostly for reviews and any kind of like long format communication I want to do outside of a tweet or a Facebook post or a long format video like this. And I'm going to show you right now why I do that. So let's do this. Let's do present. I'm going to share screen. And we'll do a Chrome tag. Yeah, there we go. All right. So this is my Facebook page right here. I invite you all to, send me a friend request or follow me. Or you can follow my business page, which is called Engdahl House. And I also have a group called Engdahl House of Readers and Writers. And also I have an email list that I'm doing. So I encourage you to sign up for my email. I just got it up and running. I've sent my 2nd email out to my list. I'm only going to send right now. My plan is I'm only sending, like, if there are specials on the Kindle books, if I'm making an appearance, or if I have a new release that I want people to know. I'm not going to send you dumb emails like, it's springtime, what things remind you of spring. I'm not going to do that to you because I don't like that from other people's email list. So my email list will always be something functional. It'll be like, this is on special, or I'm going to be performing here, or I have a new book out, and I might expand it, but we're starting slow. So sign up for that. All right. So we'll get into that because I want to talk about that a bit more. But there's the sign up. If you go to my page right there, there's a Crown Prince Friedrich Wilhelm, or Friedrich III. All right. So here's what okay. This is what you probably clicked on here to watch this video. By the way, if you're watching the replay on this, which I think most of my views come from, welcome to the show. So here it is. Here's my review. So we'll click on that. And the first thing it's going to show you is a very handsome man with this violin. And then you can quickly scroll away from that before it breaks your screen. Here's my review. And then I'll tell you, this is why I'm doing this through my own WordPress site as opposed to like Goodreads or Amazon. Because of this, because I can not only embed a preview of whoever's book I am reviewing, but then I can also add my own. So I'm figuring as long as I'm throwing this out, I might as well have the benefit of some kind of a preview of my own book. And this is my own book. This is the latest one, The Prussian Prince, just came out in February. I'm very proud of it. It's doing pretty well so far. I'm getting some nice reviews and ratings, so give it a try. All right, so here's my review of C.M. Mayo. 5 stars. A rare story hidden. Sorry, I can't read my own writing. A rare story hidden inside a rare story. That's right. Okay. I stumbled onto this book while doing some research about the Second Mexican Empire. The book was billed as being historically accurate, so even though I ultimately used nonfiction sources for my project, I felt this novel would be entertaining and could add some texture to the time and place for me. Although the event I was specifically looking for was not covered in this book, I did feel like I got a lot of backstory and a lot of the backstory and texture I was looking for. Plus, I got a very interesting and true story that I had been unaware of. The book centers around a child whom Emperor Maximilian and his wife Charlotte adopted as their heir. The couple did not have any children of their own. Oh, what's going on here? Something is unresponsive. Let me close up. Let me make sure. Page unresponsive. I don't know what's going on here. But we are still live. Okay, great. That's fine. All right, where were we? The boy was adopted. Okay. The couple did not have any children of their own. The boy they adopted was the grandson of Mexico's first failed emperor, Agustin de Iturbide. This was an attempt to endear themselves to the Mexican people. France had conquered Mexico and placed Maximilian, brother to the Austrian Emperor Franz Joseph, on the throne as a puppet ruler. The story starts with Alice Green, a young, arrogant, and ambitious American girl who marries into the Iturbide family. They move to Mexico and get involved in the imperial court. They agreed to follow Maximilian and his wife to adopt their baby, but Alice soon regrets this and fights to get her child back. I've read some of the critical reviews of this book, and I do agree that Mayo's jumping around multiple perspectives can be confusing. She also switches between present and past tense for reasons I cannot understand, but I didn't mind this so much knowing what the work is. Looking at her other work, I can see she's mostly a nonfiction writer. This may be her only novel, and it certainly doesn't fit a lot of norms associated with long-form narrative writing. Unlike most novelists, Mayo lists her references and even explains much of her research at the end of the book. She says she wrote this as a novel because she wanted to get more into the heads of the characters to give emotional context to their actions and motives. The characters are what the characters are thinking can only be speculative in the best of nonfiction format. Man, my throat really hurts. So I give her a pass on this unorthodox storytelling. I got what I wanted, which was a richly textured book, a richly textured look into the 1860s Mexico, with a lot of background information about Maximilian, his wife, General Bazin, and all the other true historical characters in the story. Thank you, Mrs. Mayo. I really enjoyed it. So, yeah, I'll tell you, it was an interesting book, and like I said, you can tell that she's not a novelist. It's not, even though she says she's writing a novel, it's it's sometimes hard to follow because she's changing perspective. And the other thing is too is that she's kind of circling the main plot. The main plot of the story is this American woman marries a Mexican noble living in exile. The French invasion of Mexico happens. Maximilian is put on the throne, and this woman goes to Mexico with her husband. They're kind of restored and become part of the Mexican imperial court. And then a deal is made where the emperor can adopts their child and gives them a very generous pension and sets them up for life. But then things go south when she regrets it and wants to get her child back, and the emperor's like, no, we're not going back on this. And she had a frantic, she went to Washington to see if she could get help from the American government. She went to France to see if she could get Maximilian's puppet master, and that would be Napoleon III, Louis Napoleon III. She went to the Pope. She went to the Austrian Emperor, Franz Joseph, to see if he could get his little brother to change his mind. So it's an interesting story, but it's most of the story is told from her perspective sometimes, but also the perspective of the bodyguard, the perspective of the servant. And there's a lot of little vignettes and stories that happen in and around. It's like the story of this child is the titular story, but we're reading all these orbital stories that kind of circle around this kid. And so you're getting a lot of Maximilian, him accepting the crown and his doubts, and how much his wife Charlotte pushed him into doing it, and General Bazain's bitterness, I guess, over running things in Mexico on behalf of France and not feeling like he's getting the support and the praise that he deserves. So I enjoyed it because I felt like she writes very you can tell she writes travel logs. So she's really good at describing places and the food and the music and how things feel and the weather and the plants and everything like that. So you feel like you're there. And I liked it because the first chapter of my next book, the French Fiasco, takes place in Mexico. And so I wanted to, and it has to do with Maximilian. So I wanted, and actually I had already written my chapter, but when I read her book, it just kind of helped me, reconfirm the things that I thought or I had already known or learned from other sources. So that's my review on that. God, I got to put an ice pack on my throat. So the other thing is I want to talk about is I finally got my email list up and running, and it was not easy. I can tell you that. So please join my email list. Like I said, I am not going to spam you, but if you want to know updates, for example, most of my, this is really interesting. In fact, let's do this instead. Hang on a second. Let me see what I'm showing you. Okay, good. Let's do this instead. I want to show you this first. This is real interesting. I shared this earlier this morning. This is at the end of the month. I get this all month long, but I decided to go at the end of the month to kind of put this together, present this. So this is my royalties for the month of March, and this is pretty typical for me. So 60% of my income is ebooks like Kindle. 20% is Kindle Unlimited. That's like Netflix for books, where you pay like a monthly fee, and then you can read any books that are part of the Kindle Unlimited program, which all my books are. And then 11% of my sales were paperbacks, 6% were hardcover, and 3% audiobooks. And 73% of all that came from the US and 27% from the UK. So that's pretty typical for me. Sometimes the UK outperforms, but the main point I'm trying to make here is that the digital always outperforms the print. So this month, 80% of my sales come with digital. So digital is really big. And one of the things about digital is that you can sell your books for a lot less and still make the same amount of money that you do with the print books. So my royalty is roughly the same whether somebody buys a Kindle version of my book or they buy a print version of my book. And one of the things you can do to entice people to jump on board is every book that you have on KDP on Amazon, you're on a 90-day contract. And at the end of 90 days, your contract automatically renews. And it's an exclusivity contract. It means I can't sell my books anywhere else. I can sell them out of the trunk of my car. I can buy author copies and sell them myself. Amazon has no problem with that, but I can't sell my books on Apple Books or on Barnes & Noble. You can buy the print versions through Barnes & Noble through what's called expanded distribution, but I can't sell Kindle books anywhere else but Amazon, which is fine because Amazon owns 90% of the global market when it comes to ebooks. So there's really not, there are some people that believe in going wide or even selling it directly yourself. That's too much work for me. I'll gladly take 90% of the global market instead. So the books, my books are like $2.99. There's a couple that are $3.99, and then the latest one's $4.99. But every 90 days, I can take those books and I can drop the price down for a week for 99 cents in the US or 99 pence in the UK. So if you sign up for my email list, I will now let you know when it's on 99 cents. And I'll tell you right now, I'm screwing myself by saying this, but I'll give you a little secret. Every one of my books, except for the new one, is going to be 99 cents for a week every 90 days. So if you time it right, you can get each of my books for 99 cents. You just have to get it when they're on special. The new book won't be on special until it's been out for 6 months. So we got a ways to go before that happens. Probably by the end of the summer, we'll start offering for 99 cents, but I urge you to read it at $4.99. So I will tell you about that. The other thing is I will tell you about is my appearances. So let's see here. Let's go back here. Oh, I know. Let's do this. I think this will work. Yeah, okay. I'm still learning how to share screen, and I think this works. Okay. Let me just check, come back here on camera to see if that's loading. Okay. Is that loading over here? All right. Nope. All right. So I have to change that. So we're going to remove. We're going to stop screen, represent, share screen. And now I can show in my inbox. I hope there's nothing in there that I'm too worried about. Oh, my timesheet's been approved. Okay, great. Okay, so this is what, okay, well, first of all, let's go back here. And let me make sure that this is showing. Okay, great. So this is what it'll look like when you get it. Let me just, actually, okay, my timesheet's been approved. So I'll just go ahead and delete that. All right. So this is what it looks like when you'll see Engdahl House, and then appearance alert, Jackson, Mississippi, And here is the email. So come see me near Jackson, Mississippi. And then I created this billboard here and I shared it on my social media. So it's the Rankin Rough and Ready Sons of Confederate Veteran Camp 265 presents A Brief History of the American Civil War through Fiddle Tunes with author Cody C. Engdahl. The back porch, there's the address, and then, of course, free and open to the public. Signed copies of his books available. And then I wrote a little text. I hope I'll be really embarrassed if there's typos in this. Hey, if you happen to be near Jackson, Mississippi next Saturday, April 6th, come see me. I'll be speaking, if I still have a voice, I'm playing fiddle tunes at 6 p.m. at the back porch, Route 471. There's the address. I'm presenting my brief history of American Civil War through fiddle tunes talk to the Rankin Rough and Ready SCV Camp 265. It's free and open to the public. Even everyone is invited, even filthy Yankee carpetbaggers like me. Back porch, Route 471 is a Cajun barbecue restaurant. The food looks fantastic. I'm definitely going to eat. Come see me. I'll have books to sign if you like. This promises to be a great night of authentic Americana culture. Let's celebrate together. Thanks, Cody. So, and then down here, Engdahl House, Nashville, Tennessee. And then you can unsubscribe if you find me a little too spammy, which I promise I'm going to work really hard to earn your trust and not to spam your email with that. So that is the other thing I wanted to talk about. So I'm doing another presentation. This is going to be I'll be in Brandon, Mississippi, which is just east of the river from Jackson's 6 hours drive. And I was kind of dreading it because it's a long drive and there's no guarantee that anybody's going to buy any of my books or what kind of crowd. But I just confirmed with the guy yesterday that we're still on. And I realized that it's at a restaurant. Usually these places, like the last one I went to was at a law office. This is actually a restaurant where they get food and drinks and all that. So it looks like a great place. It looks like they do live music a lot. So not only will I have this SCV camp that I'll be presenting to, but there'll be customers there. So maybe I'll sell even more books and make some tips. And so I decided I'm going to have a good time. I'm going to get a hotel room there near Jackson. I have points that I can still use from one of my last jobs where I did a lot of traveling. And so if you're in Mississippi, I recommend you come out, or I ask you, come out and see me, get a book or just say hi. It's a fun one because I'll be playing fiddle and people usually like that talk a lot. So then the last thing I want to talk about is, let me close this down and let me come back here. Okay. So if you want to say, Cody, but how do I know when any of this stuff is happening? Well, I'll tell you what you do. Go to my Facebook page, like I am doing now. Here we go. Facebook page. There we go. And you'll see it's pinned right at the top. It's also at the very top of my Twitter as well. And you say, hey, join my email for updates on discounts, new releases, appearances, news, and more. No spam, I promise you. And so just click on that, and it'll take you to this page right here. Join Engdahl House. Sign up here for updates, discounts, new releases, appearances, and general news. You just put in your email right here. I'll put oops, that's an at gmail.com. Hit subscribe. The only reason I'm not is because I'm already subscribed to my own thing. And that's it. You're in. And like I said, I'm gonna reserve this for now. I mean, I'm never gonna be obnoxious. I'm just too self-conscious about it. But when we have specials on those Kindle books, when we have a 99-cent special, I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna let you know where we are with the French Fiasco, and I'll also let you know when I'm going to be speaking next. I do a little traveling in the Mid-South. As you can see, I'm going to Jackson, Mississippi. I'm going to Jackson. That's a Johnny Cash song. But anyway, I think I'm going to leave it at there. Thanks for watching, and thanks for reading. And if you have an author that you really like, Make sure you give that author 5-star reviews on both Goodreads and Amazon. It doesn't have to be as thorough as mine. It can just be like, hey, I really liked it. 5 stars, bam, you're done. That's it. What else is going on? Oh, just so the French Fiasco, I'm almost done with chapter 3. It looks like I'll probably have that out early next year, I think is where I'm kind of planning it. We'll see how it goes. I am happy to report that I am staying on schedule. I'm keeping up with my word count quota so far, and the result of that is we're 3 chapters in. And what I really like about writing is when I start a book, I have a general idea. I know. First of all, I know that the book, like this book is going to be a Franco-Prussian War book, and then I have a general idea what the plot is, of where we start and where we're going to end and what's going to happen in the middle. But then, so I do plot, but then once I start writing, it develops more. Characters get added, new themes get added. And so as I'm getting through chapter 3, like things are happening, decisions are being made, and my plot is developing more and more and more. And I really like this. And I'll tell you, if you read any of my books, you'll know that things happen in the first chapter. Like we hit the ground running, and because I never want to bore people, and I never want them to wait for stuff to start happening. Stuff starts happening right away, and also I feel like I did a really good job of, this is book number 6, but I want people to be able to read this book without ever having read the other books. So I put just enough information in it for new readers that have not read the other 5 books, so they'll understand what's going on and what's important for the book without boring people who've already read it. And it's also a great a reminder, because it might have been, it'll be a year between the the French Fiasco and the Prussian Prince. So anyway, I'm going to go. I think I'm dying of throat cancer. No, I'm just kidding. I shouldn't joke about that. But my grandfather did. That's what makes me nervous. But I think it's just my allergies. I love you guys. Keep reading. Write those reviews for the people, the authors you care about. And I'll talk to you soon.